started, I guess. Basically, I'm joining the military and I'm not going active duty, so that's something different. But I still have to go to boot camp. I still have to go. Well, since I'm joining the Navy, I still have to go to boot camp and I still have to go to A school, which is basically training for your specific job, or rate, as they call it in the military. And I just kind of want to give you guys like another option for like paying for college or whatever the case may be, because not a lot of people know about it, and it's actually pretty good. But so a couple of things is basically clearly I have dreads, right? So in the military, I don't know if you've noticed, but no one really has long hair, so obviously people have to cut their hair to a certain length if you're a male. It's different for girls. I'm not exactly sure on the specifics for females, but it's definitely different. And yeah, so I started working out. I want to say yesterday, but today was my first day doing the run or whatever. Yesterday I just did a bunch of push-ups and some other stuff, but today I stretched and ran for a little bit. Not much, because today was the first day back, but yeah. And basically I wanted to go ahead and just like say some shit like, oh yeah, excuse me if I cuss, but basically, uh, most people know about like the military, obviously no shit, but if you go active duty, it's got benefits and whatnot to help you paying for college and things like that. I'm actually a college student right now. I'm attending SSU, and I'm about to finish up my first year. My semester ends in about a week or so. Next week's finals week, but I only have one final or two finals next week, and then I have two this coming Saturday. Today's a Wednesday, so I have two this Saturday, and then I have two a week from tomorrow, basically. Or I have one a week from tomorrow and one on Monday. But yeah, and then I'm heading off to boot camp on the 18th, and today is the, I want to say, the 4th of May, maybe the 5th, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm just gonna I'm preparing my body or whatever, mind, all that shit, to go to boot camp. And a couple of different things. What I should tell you guys. Well, first off, I guess is that when joining the military is not just one option. There's a lot of different options, and before joining, you should probably do a lot of research and look it up, what's best for you personally. So, with all brands, so there's basically obviously there's the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army that you guys obviously clearly know as some of the branches of the military. Those aren't all obviously, but Coast Guard and things like that, National Guard. You also have the reserves of the Air Force and the Navy and whatnot. So I'm not joining active duty, like I said earlier. I'm joining Navy reserves, which means, or before that, basically, those branches that have a reserve side tend to get a lot of the same benefits as the active duty side, which is obviously key because a lot of people join active duty for the benefits, right? Well, the big difference between active duty and reserve is basically the amount of time that you're working and obviously the pay and shit like that. So active duty, you're obviously working full time, whereas reserve, you work part time, and the part time is basically you do a weekend out of every month, and out of every month for throughout the whole year, and then you do a 2-week training period throughout that year as well. So the 2-week training period, they can send you somewhere, but for those 2 weeks, and then it doesn't have to necessarily be all consecutive. Like the days don't have to be consecutive for the 2 weeks. It can be kind of spread out. But one thing that's important that I don't think a lot of people realize or know about is that if you join the reserve, you get to stay where you are at when you join, basically. So I'm in San Diego right now, like obviously attending San Diego State, and the reason why I'm choosing to join the reserve is kind of unique to me. Not everyone has the same story or background, obviously. So mine is that my dad was Navy for a long time, about 15, 16 years. I mean, I guess it's not that long, but pretty much all my life. I'm 19 now, so, that's a long time. Yeah, and then he got out a couple years ago, and he's in the reserves right now. But since he was active duty for a long time, he got 100% of the GI Bill and things like that, which are just other specific educational benefits that the military gives out or whatever. Not gives out, but you earn in the military. And so he's able to transfer those benefits to his dependents, and he did so with me and my brother who lives in this place with me or whatever. And so that's gonna run out though, because he had a limited time. He used some of it, and then my older brother used some of it, and now we're using it. We finished up our freshman year, and basically I was the one using it, my time frame for our freshman year, and then he's gonna use it for next year, and then we're done basically. So then after that, we're on our own for paying for rent, things like that. The GI Bill, and it pays for tuition and fees and things like that, and then it also gives you a BAH, or basic allowance for housing, which is pretty good. So I live in California, and where I'm at right now, the zip code and everything, that's as a full-time student anyways, it's $2,300 a month, a little bit over that, 23 like 40 2340 I think, or something like that. Basically it's about how much we get, or I get every month, and that's just me by myself, because obviously if we were both getting it, then we'd each get $2,340 each month, which would be basically $4,680, whatever. But so basically the reserves, you have those same kind of you're offered the same type of benefits and stuff. With every benefit, there's a certain amount of time to get 100% versus a lesser percentage. And basically you can what's the words I'm looking for, no matter what the benefits are, they're going to be less because you're in the reserves, not active duty. So you need to realize that up front, I guess, basically. But you do still get those benefits. So I'm joining the reserves because there's a lot of different options when joining the military and wanting to pay for college. But something that's different for me, like I said, is because my dad was already in the military before, and I got the GI Bill and everything like that. So the reason why I'm choosing the reserves is because a lot of people have suggested ROTC and things like that. I've of course looked at it and everything, but the thing that ROTC does is it basically allows you to come in as a commissioned officer after you graduate, and it pays for your tuition and fees, and they give you a small check, and then like $200 or whatever, I think a month. But that's not really ideal situation for me, because after graduating college, it's easier to come into the military as a officer, no matter pretty much whether or not you're in the ROTC program. And also, you can put an officer package together, but what the big difference was the amount of time. So obviously in ROTC you have to take an extra credit, or you have to take classes for that. And then the good thing though is that you don't have to go to boot camp or anything if you do ROTC. But I figured after doing some research and things like that, I found out that to me joining the reserves was going to be the best idea, or the best of what I could think of. Basically, obviously I get a part-time job, and I freaking
wait a minute, where you going? Ain't my business where you going.
And I get my own benefits and things like that. And then I can still obviously join on the active duty side if I want after I get out of college, which is also something some people may not know, because you can obviously join active duty, then go reserves, or join reserves, go active duty later on, or whatever. But also a big benefit to the reserves is, like I said, I think I said this earlier, you don't have to get up and move every 3 years or whatever. You stay where you're at. So once I'm done with boot camp and A school, I'm gonna come back to San Diego, and I'm gonna finish out school and everything. And a lot of schools have military leave of absence, so SDSU does. And so once I'm done with the semester, I'm gonna go ahead and tell them that I'm leaving because of military reasons. So my spot will be reserved for when I come back. And when I come back, I'll just get to resume to school like I was before, like as if I never left. So that's a lot of stuff. I know there's a lot to take in, and there's a lot more I'm gonna say, hopefully. But basically it's just my journey, I guess, or whatever. It's gonna take a while before I post a whole lot of shit. But obviously now I have dreads, so I'm going to be cutting these off pretty soon, within probably the next 2 weeks. And actually I'm kind of like sad that I'm gonna do that, of course. But I've only had them for 2 years, well, 2.5 almost. But I haven't retwisted them for like almost a year now. So so I'm going on. I think I got them, no, October or November, like 2 years ago, basically. Because I didn't get them in 2016. I got them in 2015, I believe. So I've had, no, 2014, 2014, yeah, 2014, and I've had them for obviously those 2 years, and then this will be the third year if it was that same month this year, but it's not. It's only May, but yeah. So I've had them for a little bit over 2 years, and so obviously people obviously are like, dang, like you're joining, you have to cut your dreads, da da da. The people that know obviously they have to cut your hair. Now, I guess they obviously think that I'm emotionally attached to my dreads. Don't get me wrong. I think they are a part of me in a lot of that, in a lot of different ways, and a lot of different things, because I've always wanted dreads. It's just my biological mom didn't want me to have dreads for a long time, so I didn't have them for a long time. And then one day I called her. I was like, complaining about how she never let me have dreads or whatever. And then she was like, I never said you couldn't have dreads. And I was like, really? And so I just started my dread journey like a week or two after that, and that's why it took me so long to start, and that's why I've had them, whatever. But I kind of, at the point when I got them, I kind of got them more so as to prove the stereotype wrong. Now, I mean, obviously, I think differently than a lot of people, so I kind of wanted to prove to myself that having dreads doesn't mean you have to be a badass. That you have, or not necessarily a badass, but a bad child or kid or whatever, a bad being, or just a person always in trouble, basically, with the law and things like that. Which I have it, and I also wanted to see how much more trouble it would get me into, kind of push the boundaries, kind of thing. But basically, since I've had dreads, the only thing I've ever gotten is really like people like looking at me differently, which doesn't bug me, because that, in exchange of having my dreads, I kind of think that's worth it. And then the only other thing that I've had like with like officials or anything is like I've been pulled over, not me personally, but like, well, I was in the passenger seat, so it was my girlfriend, me, and her mom in her mom's car, and she was driving, I was in the passenger seat, her mom was in the back seat behind me, and we're in this little Toyota or whatever. But basically they were coming to pick me up so that we could go hang out or something. I don't remember what the exact reasons were or anything, but I'm standing on the corner, like a block away from my house, 2 blocks away from my house or whatever, and I'm standing there, and I've seen like a couple cops drive past or whatever, and then they pull over, like they come around and get me or whatever. They pull over, I hop in the car, and then we have to make a U-turn, and it's not a legal U-turn or anything. We make the U-turn, and then boom, cops come through, like mad cops. Like, so there was one cop car behind us. We pull over, obviously, and they pull up behind us or whatever, and then legit to our right, like a shit ton of cops came out of nowhere, like out of fucking nowhere. I kid you not, there was at least 8 cops that just came out rolling up deep, right? And I'm over here sitting like, fuck, like we're done. Like, I don't even know. Like, this was earlier this year, by the way, but I was like, fuck, what's gonna happen? Da-da-da. And she's probably panicking. I don't honestly remember. I'm positive she was panicking though, knowing her. And then I don't know what the fuck her mom was doing, but I think her mom's pretty chill about it, just cause whatever. But this is how I know cops are racist as fuck and stereotype the fuck out of the neighborhood or whatever, unless they had probable cause. But I really highly doubt they did, because they didn't tell me if they did, and I asked. So the officer that pulled us over comes up. Da-da-da. He asked to see license and registration, but he didn't ask. And at this time there's a lady, female cop, that came over to my window passenger side, and obviously the window's down already or whatever, and she so when he asked for license and registration, he asked all 3 of us for our licenses, which obviously is, first off, not required, and second off, just over the top. Like, and obviously I know they didn't care to see her mom's license, okay? And the only reason why she thinks that they asked for her mom's license, which they didn't know until after the fact, basically that it was her car, was because she said, "Oh, this is my mom's car," but her mom was sitting in the back seat. They didn't know that was my mom at the time or anything like that. And for what reason do they need to see my license? I'm not driving. I could literally be in the car in the passenger seat and not have my license on. That's perfectly legal. So there's no reason for them to have to ask me for my license. Like that doesn't even make sense. But that happened, and I asked the woman, female cop, if like why they needed to see my ID or whatever after I gave it to her, and she was like, "Oh, it's just protocol" or some shit like that, which is obviously some bullshit. But yeah, outside of that kind of shit, or not kind of shit, but outside of that example, I haven't had any like over the top, racist profiling things with my hair or anything. The reason why I keep doing that is because there's a mirror over there and I want to make sure that it's keep recording or whatever. But yeah, and this is my first video or whatever. I just kind of wanted to give people another option of thinking or whatever. And if you have questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section and all that shit. By the way, I guess I should give out a shout out to who I think are like some big YouTubers out there. I'm talking quiet because it's like late outside. I don't know if you can see that, but it's fucking dark. But Megan McQueen, you feel me? I'm not a big YouTuber or nothing out like that, but Megan McQueen, Niles, you feel me? Beanard, the real Beanard, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I watch a couple of different people. Remy, all them niggas, they're funny as fuck. Yeah, good shit. Keep doing your thing. And I'm trying to get out there. I'm not trying to get famous or nothing or get money or nothing like that. I just want to fucking tell my story. Like, I didn't do a Dreads journey video post or anything like that just because, like, I'm lazy and I didn't think anyone would care. And I discouraged myself before even doing so, like being able to get started on it. So this time I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So here I am, fucking posting the first video, I guess. And yeah, next one will probably be cutting these motherfuckers off, which I love, my pride and joy, low key right now. And I've had them for a long time. Prom, all the shit, homecoming, all the good memories with these motherfuckers. But yeah, until next time, I'm out, motherfuckers.
Bad bitch riding my dick, she swerved cause another bitch grabbing the wheel. I ask them to chill, they both look at me, say shut up, I say my lips are sealed.